How's it going, Reef Keepers? Sorry for the absence that I had, but my rural city, small city in the deep south where I live, experienced probably the worst ice storm that it's had in decades. And the public school system was actually closed for 7 school days, and the entire town basically had to hide indoors for a 10-day period until really the snow melted because there's not a whole lot of investment in snow removal infrastructure and or resources in the deep south. And in case anybody hasn't lived down here, they do nothing. They didn't even put salt on the roads beforehand, which my city alderman got a email from me about the need to have at least enough salt on hand to throw on the roads before snow starts, but it'll fall on deaf ears, I'm sure. Anyhow, I have been inundated with just various requests across all my videos. Hey, I want to know more about this. I want to know more about that. Can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? So I have plenty of content that I need to put out. I've just been distracted for the last few days. So I apologize for that. But today's video is about the schedule that I have set for my lighting. So as you can see, I have 2 different kinds of lighting, a combo, if you will, on this tank. So I have Quanta Pro bars, one in the front and then one in the rear from Quanta Reef. I have 2 of those, and then I have 3 XR15G6 Pros that run down the, in between those bars, down the middle. And the way that I work this, since the Quanta Pros are just on-off lights, I have those run, and by the way, I know it's contentious, and I know some people will say, hey, that's too long to keep your lights on your coral, and some people may say, hey, I even keep them on longer than that, but I keep my lights on full intensity for 8 hours. So for 8 hours, from 12 noon until 8 p.m., I have the Quanta Pros on. So I have those turn on in addition to having from 12 to 8 the XR15s on their highest intensity. So I do that for 8 hours. I haven't noticed any negative effects of it. Maybe there is, and I'm not seeing it. Maybe I'm tiring my coral out a little bit by the end of each day. But as like a working dad, I just want to extend the amount of time that I can see my tank and visibly witness the tank. And I think a lot of people are in the same boat. So basically, let me take you through how I do this. So here's my Mobius, which Mobius I've decided does kind of suck after I defended it for years. Pretty convinced that it's not the greatest, but let's go ahead and hop into the lighting schedule. So the way that I have my schedule set is that the intensity of it never goes above 70%. The highest level of intensity from noon to 8 p.m. Let me turn this actually. So from noon to 8 p.m., it's at 70% intensity, okay? Combined with the Quanta Pro lights, that is giving me about 300 to 350 par on the very top of the rockscape, and then like 150 on the bottom. So, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. Everything is reasonably happy at that, balance, so to speak. So I start my lights at, so like at one, it ramps to 1%, from 1% up to 30% from, I believe, 9 a.m. until 11:30. So from 9 a.m. to 11:30, it's just this gradual ramp up, right? Then from 11:30 to noon, I have a high intensity ramp. It goes real fast up to its brightest, most intense point. Then from 8 to 8:30, it has also, it has another on the back end, fast ramp down, back down to 30% at 8:30. And then it's all the way down to 0%, 30% to 0% at 11 p.m. So basically, I have 14 hours in which my tank has some light on it, whether it's deep, dark blue, making that coral pop, which is generally like from from the start to 30% and from 30% down to 0% at the end of the day, those are pretty deep blues. And I get to see the coral popping when I'm around the tank at those times. And then this right here, we're in full intensity right now. It is almost 1 p.m. So we're about an hour into full intensity on the tank lights right now. You guys know I like bright white. You know, I mean, this is pretty bright. You know, I like my tank this way. So this is how it appears for 8 hours of the day, and super happy with it. Super happy with the Quanta Pros. Super happy with I run, by the way. So the Quanta Pros, of course, have their own set spectrum. They are the ones I have are the Tropic Sun variety, which are like a natural sunlight, natural daylight spectrum. I run straight up AB plus spectrum now on all 3 of my XR15 G6s. So I'm running AB plus spectrum to get that, you know, quote unquote, best growth spectrum, or as close to it as I can, from the main lights down the middle of the tank. All kinds of debate on, you know, how good it is versus other spectrums, and how good I know the XR15 spectrum, it's not all the Ecotech would have you believe it is, that the Aperture machine would have you believe it is, but since I got the lights, I'm just trying to do the best for the corals. But anyhow, this is my map, so to speak. This is how I run it, and I get 14 hours a day on this tank that I get to witness it, or that I have the potential to witness it, and I don't have a ton of time in my life, especially when I'm a teacher and when the semesters are, you know, in full swing. I'm pulling a lot of office hours. I'm pulling a lot of grading sessions. You know, I don't have time to just sit and enjoy my tank. So I try to elongate the amount of time per day that I have the potential to catch a glimpse of my tank, or catch a couple minutes where I can really observe it. And so far, nothing seems angry at me for doing that. So, I mean, if I start to feel that the corals seem taxed or something like that, I'll dial back the 14-hour day, dial back the 8-hour, you know, super intense photo period. But so far, it's been working. Anyhow, hope that is helpful to somebody. I know one person asked me specifically about it. I hope my response to them was good, but this is kind of like the full video behind their question. So, all right, guys, if you're enjoying the content, please like and subscribe. And as always, I appreciate your support.